imagine the people at 2K who have worked all this time on these games and worked on these graphics and all that, and they're going to put out an outdated game. I feel so bad for them. They had this trailer that this just came out, and the graphics look. I've been one of the biggest critics of Pukes or 2K or whoever's making the games. I was impressed by how the graphics look with some of these wrestlers. Like Edge actually looked like Edge. I was like, okay, that's good. I don't know anything about the controls because that only appeared for half a second. I don't know whether that means anything or not. But the trailer was interesting. But the thing is, like, again, with all these cuts, wiped out. Like, I believe 35% of the roster is gone. Like, how is that going to affect the game? How is that going to affect everything? I don't know. What do you guys think about what you saw in the trailer, and what do you think about the future of the game?
So, go ahead, Dana. I'll go after you.
No. I just remember really quickly, Sonic and Knuckles, the Sonic Knuckles game, like back with this. What was it? Sega Genesis or was it Nintendo 64?
Are you talking about they had like the add-on?
The add-on. That's basically it. So we're gonna have the game itself, and then in order to play the characters who all got fired, you're gonna have the other AEW game on top. Put it in there, and then you can unlock the
AEW game. Because they're AEW now. Oh, goodness.
Wow.
Oh, it's the AEW DLC. Yeah, that's practically. My goodness.
Well, I would give my quick thoughts, and then I'll go back to you and Dana. I have to admit that I was not impressed with what I saw. The issue for me is that, again, it's a short sampling of what to expect because they're marketing this as, it hits different. Oh, it does. Well, I need to see a hell of a lot more than what I saw. Now, to go to what you said, Ricky, about the Edge animation, yes, it looked good, but that is the exact same motion capture that they use for when Edge made his return to wrestling. Because you have to remember, this game has been in development for an extended period of time. So I'm pretty sure they pulled that from when he first came back to WWE back in, I think it was in 2020.
Yeah, Royal Rumble 2020.
Yep. Before, and then WrestleMania, the pandemic that shut down, and they had to redo everything. But that was where that animation was from. So, there's definitely going to be some stuff in this game that is outdated. The cuts that we mentioned, that was announced after this trailer. That was announced after this trailer had already came out. So I really do think 2K thought after that happened, like, oh, well, wow, man, some of those people, we may have to take them out the game because I don't know how that whole process works. If those people are still going to get royalties, obviously the ones that are featured prominently in the game, if they're in the story mode or whatever, then you can't take them out the game. So I'm curious to know if the game is still going to release in March, because after this announcement, and then you have to also consider if Kevin Owens is leaving and he's leaving in January, that means by the time this game comes out, he's not going to be with the company anymore. So again, all of these things, I'm very curious to see how it's going to impact the initial release window of the game. I will say this. I was glad to see the GM mode was announced, but then I think to myself, will they even have a roster that you can even utilize in there? Obviously, you can create people. It's not going to feel the same, though. And if anyone who has played the GM mode in the WWE games before, you know how it felt, because it was a rating system attached to a match. You would get a certain rating based on certain matches, and you felt as though you was competing against the other show. I don't know how they're going to do that this time. So, again, I'm glad to know the game is coming back because, yes, I will play it, but they definitely need to show a hell of a lot more to convince me and a lot of other people this might be worth checking out. And they said they will in January, but that's still about 2 months from now. So we'll see what happens.
So may I break down the 2-minute trailer of everything that kind of happened?
Yeah.
So here's some features. Here's some thingy-wingies. We are getting a redesigned gameplay engine, so hopefully we'll not get all that botchy, glitchy horribleness that we had from the 2019, which was hilarious. Is it 2019 or was it 2020?
No, it was 20. It was 20.
2K20, I believe.
Yeah, 2K20.
2K20. Okay, so we're getting new controls. Obviously, we don't know what that means until we get the controls in our hands. They reported stunning graphics again. So was the last game reported? Immersive presentation. We are getting the new 2K showcase, my GM, my faction, which has been a long while since we've seen that, my rise, universe mode, and creation suit. So what we do know is this. We do know that the my GM thing was a fan favorite from ever. And so that is something a lot of people really wanted. And this was also inspired by, remember, No Mercy. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, we want No Mercy. So we got No Mercy. My faction is basically a brand new mode where it's basically what you're going to do is it's a mode that's going to build into a faction. So say if you want to build the shield, right? So you'll have something like the shield where you'll end up collecting and managing and upgrading all of your wrestlers. And you get to pick from any era of WWE. So you can have Hulk Hogan now wrestling The Rock. Also, joining in Bray Wyatt. I'm throwing things in there. So you get random people that you can put in from any decade, any era, anything, and they all, come together and they create this new kind of faction. And then you go and you battle, and it's a new game mode with different challenges. And you get weekly events and weekly challenges. So you have to keep updating the game and see it keeps you from straying away. Yay. My faction will use virtual currency, but it's not required, but that's how they get your money.
Mm-hmm. 2K.
So, 2K. Yep. They said that it does not offer any competitive advantage or does not put players in a pay-to-win situation. You're not going to be gambling and betting, but I don't know what's really going on with that. But the items that you purchase with your virtual currency can also be purchased by my faction points, which you earn in the gameplay. So it's not like give me your credit card. You can also earn your way to get some of that virtual money. So that is a plus. But still. Now, also with this, you get My Rise, which is a mode that allows you to experience the journey of WWE superstar from a rookie to a legend, and you won't get fired. So, you get to live in that fantasy world. And then you end up having the universe mode, which is something that we all know about.
Yeah.
And then there's Creation Suit, that is also back. You have fantasy elements. You can create kind of your own matches and your weird stipulations. You have the ability to have your ring anywhere in the world. So I don't know. Let's invade Africa and have a match there. I don't randomly saying things. Then you'll have, yep.
Oh no! When you're done, let me know because I have a comment to make about something related to this game. Go ahead.
Okay. Then you have the 2K Showcase, which allows you to relive any of the matches, the iconic matches of the time. So you can watch that good old Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins match from Hell in a Cell. Yeah, maybe. Now, with the engine, they said that it's completely redesigned and that it's rebuilt, and you don't have to worry about the glitching and the botching, and we don't know, but that's what they're saying. You also get the gameplay and the animation is from the ground up, so it's not going to be taking anything that it had from 2K20. So they're hoping that that's not going to happen. Then you also have, here's the control scheme of that they're saying that allows you to have a more controlled experience. So remember from the previous game that was a hot mess, characters were doing their own thing, as we saw. You couldn't really have any control of your controller. So this one, they're saying, hey, remember that time? Not again. We worked on it. So that is what they're hoping for. And that also on top of that, they said that these updates enable folks to easily pick up and play while allowing for higher skill and expression. Don't know what that means. It's a lot of mumbo jumbo for, hey, remember last time? It was terrible. It's going to be better. So we do have that. On top of that, they said for people who are just starting out who suck at video games, hi me, you do have a nice combo system where you're able to easily put in what the combo is, and then you can defeat the opponent, or you could just be like Ricky and cheat. So that's
that's a shoot.
That's a big shoot.
I will never let that down. You
She's
cheated.
still mad about Smash Brothers.
I'm still mad. This is Gear 3. I'm still mad. You will also get a faster response time. So that is also really good. And as you said, Richard, they're still planning to release this in March of 2022. So I'm gonna hold that hope.
So here's the comment that I was going to make. It was reported that as of September, this past September, they have confirmed 24 people that are in the game. Now, I don't know.
That might be their whole roster.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know how many people are going to be impacted with this. That's why I said that's what I'm curious to see, because if a wrestler such as the Keith Lee or Karrion Kross ends up in AEW and you have them in this game, that might be an issue. So I don't see them doing that. So it kind of feels, we'll see how it goes. As I said, yeah, Dana, that's a lot of information that it sounds interesting, but this is the issue. I hate when somebody they tell me this stuff, but they don't show it to me. They have to show the people. And after what happened with 2K20, they definitely got a hell of a lot more to show. And hopefully that's what happens in January, as they said. But I'll be surprised if this game does get released in March and doesn't get pushed out further into the springtime, because it depends what happens between now and then with whoever actually is in the game and actually leaves WWE. So
the timing is also very interesting that their next update will be in January, because as I mentioned before, as speculated, the company WWE might be sold at that point. And 2K is probably like, for fuck's sake, guys, can you actually tell us who's going to be there that we can promote on this game? Because we don't want to promote a wrestler that you're going to fire. So, let's wait until you're done doing all that. And then we can be like, okay, here's the roster. And then they can delete the 100 or so people that they had to spend all that time making for nothing. I can't wait to play My Rise, where I start out in NXT and I win the game by going to AEW. I can't wait. That's how you win the game.
And by the way, I'm gonna let Dana go first, but I will say that. And by the way, you already know, if you've ever played a WWE game in the Creation Suite, people will be making AEW wrestlers, and they will make an AEW brand as well. So I can't wait to see that happen. Yes.
No, I just wanted to really point out that in the trailer, Buddy Murphy was in the background.
Oh, he was.
Oh,
he was in the background.
So
he was in the scene with Seth Rollins and Austin Theory and Ali.
They can't do that. Oh yeah, well, Austin Theory, yeah. Now that he's on the main roster, yeah, that's good. But no, this is a problem. So I look forward to seeing how they will explain this stuff.
Yeah.
And Triple H is in there, even though we don't know if he's part of the company anymore.
Oh, he's still there.
Let's move on. Come on.
He's still there.
Now we're throwing Triple H into the dirt here.
Yeah.
Come on. He's the son-in-law of the owner. Let's not go too far here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.